Thank you so much, Sophia. I'm so happy to be here today and meet all of you. I know some of you. Um, I am also part of the Social Impact Accelerator here at the CIC, which is a fabulous, accelerator for those who may have your own startup. And so it's a little bit, I feel like a little bit I'm in a home space today. And I'm so thrilled that Sophia asked me to come and talk about what I'm working on and really how we can all think about our social lives a little bit differently. I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to do a little exercise together, which I know you will enjoy. And then kind of come back together, and I'm hoping we'll see a change even in this short 20-minute time span. So I'm going to start by telling you just a little bit about how the heck I got into caring about social connection and thrusting my life and many, many dollars towards it. Back in the fall of 2022, I was the president of a marketing technology startup here in Boston. And I was told by my school district, I had a 6-year-old son at the time, for the second year in a row, sorry, we don't have any space for him in the after-school care program. Now, anybody who has children knows when your child is between the ages of 5 and 10, they need supervision after school. And the way our district worked, they got out of school at 1:15 and 2:15 every single day. So I'm home trying to be on Zoom. He's coming through the door. I don't want to put him on screens all day. It became essentially like a hellscape of stress in my house for about a year. And at a certain point, the next year I was told again, sorry, there's no space. And I just said, okay, this is my breaking point. I can't do this anymore. If I have to choose between being a mom and being the professional, I'm going to choose being the mom my son needs me to be. And I quit that job, and I woke up the next day and said, I'm fixing this. And I went on Facebook, and I went into the moms groups, and I said, who doesn't have after school care? I'm fixing this. Send me an email. And the next morning, I had 75 emails. Wow, nobody has after school care. All right, great. So why haven't we all talked about this? Why are we all pulling our hair out at home? Most of my town has a 2-parent working household. So I said, okay, the short story of what happened next is that I created a grassroots movement called Parents for After School Solutions. We spent the next 7 months creating 2 new after school care programs in my town. We partnered with the YMCA. We did a lot of politicking. Parts were stupid, parts were awesome, but we got it done. But at the end of that, I said to myself, what has the effect of this been? Because I feel different. Yes, I can go back to work now. That's awesome. It's September. But I also feel lighter. I also feel happier. I also feel these other things. And I'm wondering if I can go back to those 600 parents who I just helped and said, would you mind filling out a survey? And they did. And what I learned from that survey was that parents and adults are in a self-care crisis when it comes to our social connections. So number one, parents said, oh, I now have a plan to take mental health breaks 3 times a day. 85% of people told me that. 92%, I'm happier around my kids. 82%, I have a plan to exercise 3 times a week. These statistics were just off the wall to me, and it just became so clear that what I was feeling, everyone was feeling. So then I asked the question, well, why aren't we talking to each other? Why aren't we building community and spending time together? Because if we had been, this problem probably wouldn't have existed. And the 2 answers I got, which Sophia alluded to, was 1, logistics. Our calendars are a nightmare. If you've ever looked at a parent's calendar and add multiple kids, and it's just, it's a total mess. So trying to find time to sync everybody up was problem number 1. And I think we all kind of face that problem to some degree. You don't need to be a parent. But the second piece of it was anxiety, overwhelm, brain space. Of course, that's the harder problem to solve. And when I started getting into this more and thinking about well, what does this really mean from a scientific perspective, from our health? I learned so much about what the science has revealed really just in the last 5 years. There's actually a direct correlation now between how we spend our social lives and whether we get sick next week, and whether we get Alzheimer's disease, and whether we get diabetes. And these aren't small correlations. We're talking 25%, 40%. And it builds up over time, just like any other piece of our physical health that we do or don't take care of. They say the heart attack in your 60s starts in your 40s, right? It's true. And so these social decisions that we're making, whether we choose to sit on the couch and scroll because it's raining and we're tired, or whether we get up and go and fulfill that plan, is actually changing the rest of our lives. We are adding days, we're subtracting days. So behind that science, further is a methodology. And again, this is all like really cutting edge stuff, but it's what we're building into our application, which is when you think about the formula for like, well, how do I manage this? How do I know? Like, do I have a healthy social life? Do I not? Am I feeling lonely? Well, maybe I don't need as much socialization as other people. And of course, there's all variation to that. But essentially, there's a formula. The formula is called the 5-3-1. So essentially, every single week, you should think about having 5 different engagements with different people. They don't have to be super deep, but like 5, intentionally having 5 different conversations with different people. The next phase of this is having 3 people in your life that you nurture every day, nurturing those relationships every single day. It can be a text message. It's just point of contact. It's essentially making sure those people don't fall out of your inner ring. And then the one is having 1 hour of quality engagement with anyone every single day. So, in the spirit of that, I have brought some cards for us to have some conversations here in the group and help check the box on your 1 hour of deep conversation today. So, here's what we're going to do. One of our partners, our Purposely Social partners, is a group called Skip the Small Talk. Has anybody been to one of their events? Yes.
My friend started, right?
Ashley.
Yeah.
She's my buddy too. She's amazing. And so we are going to use some of their prompts. And I'm just going to go ahead. Let me put this down. And if you guys a couple cards, you can just pick whatever questions you want to pick. Now, I'm just kind of pairing you guys up here. People sitting next to you, the 2 of you. You guys. Two, so it should be 2. You can do 2. Yeah, thank you. Do you want to do it? So grab a partner, swing them round and round, introduce yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend 5 minutes, okay? So pick one question, one person answer it for about 2.5, 3 minutes, and then I'm going to say ding, 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 and then switch, and we want to make sure the other person has a chance to talk to. Same question. So pick one question, one person answers for a couple of minutes, and we're going to switch. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. If everybody can take their cards and also just pass them forward, that would be great. I want to make sure I get those back. Nobody wants to stop talking. I love it. That's right. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Okay, thank you. If you can just give your cards to Sophia, that would be awesome. Okay. Is that fun? Woo. Yes. I would love to hear like a couple of words of like how everybody felt about that experience and like how it's kind of left you feeling. Just throw them out.
Connected.
Yes, connected.
Energized.
Yes. Energy?
Positivity.
Yeah, positivity. Anybody else? Yeah.
I was surprised how easy it was to strike up a conversation.
That's so cool. Isn't it interesting, right? And we're around strangers all the time. We're all in here all the time, and we're not talking to each other, right? It is so much easier than we think. Yes, I just gave you some questions, but there's also some just really easy ways for us to just kind of edge into conversation. And I would say, did people enjoy meeting somebody new? Raise your hand. Yes. And now I'm going to ask you another question. I want everybody to close their eyes for this one. Everybody's got to close their eyes. Okay, I want you to raise your hand if you wished that your partner had shared less information with you. No hands. Okay, keep your eyes closed. I want you to raise your hand if you wish your partner had shared more information with you. Okay, we've got about 60% of the room. Fantastic. You can open your eyes. Social proof, right? People want to know more. Oh, yeah. Or did you want to ask something?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes. People want to know more, not less. People are inherently interested in you and your story, and it's just an important thing for all of us to realize. And so when we think about how you can walk away from this experience, yes, today you're more energized. You might say hi to the person in the elevator. You might think about who haven't you talked to in a while? Who's in that inner three, those relationships that we need to nurture every single day? And how can we make a plan for you to nurture them today, this week, next week? And one of the most important pieces to nurturing is recurrence. So, we send a text, we make a plan, that's great. However, the key to it is keeping it on a recurring basis, which is one of the reasons why in my application, but in general, there's been many articles written about the importance of calendars. And so, most of us are living, dying by our calendars. And so thinking about, well, how can I get something on the calendar with those key people, that core three that repeats? And so what I want you guys to do right now is just think about, you can write down or just keep it in your head, who are those three people that you want to make sure you continue to nurture a relationship with for the rest of your life. Let me give you just 60 seconds, just get a couple names in your mind. Okay. I want you to pick one of them. Pick one. And I want you to open your calendar, or if you don't have your phone on you, it's okay. But the idea is, let's take some action right now. Let's get it into our pathway right now. Let's go into our calendars, and I want you to pick a time today and put it on your schedule that says, reach out to this person and schedule recurring lunch, walk, dinner, talk on the phone. Can be very simple, right? Don't overdo it. We're all busy. Let's make this easy. So everybody do it. Let's pick a time later today when you have a moment, you'll know you'll have a down moment, and ping them. All right. This is so fun, guys. Thanks so much for being here with me. Everybody feel good?
Yes.
Energized, connected, positive, ready to reconnect with people that we need to? Awesome. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. So thrilled to be here. I also really want to thank the Creative Mornings team and Sophia. This woman is incredible. Truly incredible. I have been so impressed by her. Thank you very much for having me. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take questions for a couple minutes. We have some time. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about your problem fixing, which is your platform? Tell us.
Sure. So essentially what I first set out to do was that, all right, let me create a mobile app. Let me solve this strictly with technology. So top layer is problem logistics. So when you go into the application in our MVP, you can essentially say, all right, the idea is it's very calm looking. It's not, there's no gifts, there's nothing in your face. It's just clean and organized. Who do I want to see? I'm trying to make plans. You pick the 3 people you want to hang out with, you click match availability, and we instantly produce times when people are free. So you can filter by weekend, et cetera, et cetera. Hit confirm, it pushes to them, it sends also invitations via email to those folks as well. Like all things calendars, maybe they've got something going on, but it wasn't on the calendar. But it gets you, I would say it's about 80% accurate in successfully first time getting people to a place, groups of people, to a place where they've got plans made and they didn't have to go down the black hole of text messaging. So that is like kind of layer 1. And then layer 2 is actually using AI to get in and start to identify patterns for each user that are helpful. So it's almost like an AI social assistant. We are integrations with wearables as well. So the idea is, if you think most people have an Apple Watch or something that's tracking their health every day, and you don't have to connect this if you don't want to, but what we can ultimately do with a simple connection is say, hey, Karen, you're down on your steps this week. you and Michelle walked last Friday at noon. Looks like you're both free this Friday again. Do you want me to go ahead and invite her? And then go ahead and do it, right? So it's how do we help people get ahead of these things that we want to do, and oftentimes as busy adults, we want to double down. Like, let's socialize and walk. Like, let's socialize and have the lunch that I need to have anyway. Or let's like go for a walk and I'll call you, you know? So that's the idea of how we're doing it. It should be used to empower humans. It shouldn't act as a human. I don't want it to impersonate me, but I want it to give me superpowers so that I can be a healthier person. Cool. You had your hand
Well,
raised.
I had the same
Oh,
question, but I'm also thinking, there's been a trend, and I guess I'm part of the trend. I've started doing potlucks. So
Yes,
a
I have
larger
too.
group,
This is awesome.
and it is magic, because it's not just me and another person making a plan. It's like, we're having an open house from this time to this time. Come, share food, hang out. And the reception has been huge. People's responses have just been like, this is an awesome idea. I miss seeing everybody. You know, we definitely had a hiccup there in our social. With kids, of course, our calendars are reoriented as they get older. Mine's 13, so I'm sort of coming out of the haze and seeing people that I haven't seen in years. A combination of COVID and kids and all of that. So potlucks are fun.
Totally agree with that. The Surgeon General did an entire call on potlucks. Our previous one, yeah, fantastic. And I would say that's a really great example of lowering the bar, right? You don't have to vacuum your house. You don't have to make the beds. People just want to see you. It's okay. Don't clean up the shit. Like, they just want to see you. Is that a question? Yeah.
Can you speak a little more about your formula you mentioned?
Yeah.
That's something you developed?
No. Actually, a woman named Cassie Killam developed it, another KK. She's here in Boston. She's ex-Google. She's Harvard, but now she's like on a world tour with her book. And then also she gave the keynote at South by Southwest this year as well. So she's fantastic. I highly recommend following her. I'm just kind of like following up. Like, she is kind of like the social health data source at this point, front runner. Yeah. Other questions or thoughts? You guys have fun? Oh, wait, yeah.
I wish I had more time to let this percolate, but I remember hearing about, I remember hearing about sort of the difference between social capital and bridging capital. Do you know those terms?
Social capital, yes.
Okay.
Bridging
So-
capital?
So it's like with people you already know, and
Oh.
then between communities,
Yeah.
meeting people who you wouldn't otherwise meet, and that like both are important for that social health.
Yep.
So you talked about it as like an excellent way to work on social capital. Do you have any thoughts on, or like plans to find ways to integrate bridging capital, like folks you don't already know?
Yes. So the way I'm tackling that in application is this notion of friends of friends. So we can identify, Karen's friends with Elizabeth. Elizabeth is friends with Shannon. Shannon and Karen both actually go to the same kickboxing gym. They live within 5 miles of each other. You have this mutual connection, and essentially identify points. And then what we do is we ping Elizabeth to say, hey, these two look like they could be a good pair. Everybody wants to help their friends, right? It's like, sure, okay. Here, guys, like you guys should connect. Here's why. So that's how I'm thinking about it, because it is tough. That next piece is tough. Like, how do I meet new people?
Yeah.
Especially if your circle is small to start off with. So yeah, there's a lot of layers to it, but you're absolutely right. It's like meeting people outside your circle, but also people who are diverse from you is incredibly important. Diverse viewpoints as well. Yes.
Karen, as a small studio owner in Charlestown, I think we kind of like touched on this, but we focused on the top more. How about applications for small community organizations? Like, is there a use case for that?
Yes. The way I'm actually building this into a membership and not just a technology, because technology at the end of the day only goes so far, is I'm thinking about this like, what we've done is gone out to a lot of small businesses who are offering classes, connective experiences, exercise classes, whatever, for adults who are hard to find. right? And so they all have these little websites out there, and they're probably not on the big, the big event sites for town. But they're struggling to bring people in. But like every adult is saying to themselves when they make plan, like, oh, what should we do? We wind up doing the same stuff over and over again. And it's great. It's great to see each other. We need to do that. But like helping those guys find the people. So that's how I'm kind of, from a community perspective, when I think about community, I think about small business too. And those retailers who need the business and who need support. And so essentially we create sort of, I don't want to say, it's sort of like special deals with them. So essentially they say, for Purposely Social members, we're going to offer X, Y, Z. And you can come on in, and if you download the app and join the community, you can take advantage of it as well. So that it all just feeds itself, and I'm not charging them any money. You just pay a membership to be part of this, to be part of these connective experiences, to use the application. You can organize your own events, of course, too. Thank you.
What is the app called?
Purposely Social.
And I think we have one question.
So with the 531, how do partners work into that equation?
It's a good question. I think I've read different things about this. Partners should be part of your 3. Yeah, I think that's important.
Partner plus 2.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Maybe it's 4. Yes.
What was the name of the woman you were talking about?
Yeah. Kasley Killam, Kasley Killam. Yeah. She has a great book also called The Art and Science of Human Connection.
Which I got because you recommended.
Oh,
Yeah, remember, we have to
that's
read it, talk about
right.
it.
It is. It's fabulous. And it's very readable. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.